Whatever the next decade has in store, just remember, there's nowhere to go but up. Okay, so I was wrong. Hello everybody, I'm Kate Cast, and congratulations, we made it to 2021. Yay! So, in light of the events of 2020, I want to formally apologize to 2018 and 2019 for saying they were long, stressful, and exhausting when I didn't know how good I had it. At least there was a break from the stress to go outside. 2020 felt like a wasted year in many respects. I had so many plans and goals. I was lining up conventions to attend, going to see Broadway shows with friends and family, and getting leads on a second job, all of which fell through, and by the end of the year, I lost my current job that I had had since I was 18. That still hurts. But at least I know it's nothing I did, it's just a casualty of this god-awful year we've had to live through. Including all the movies that got delayed that usually takes my mind off of stuff like this. I love Sonic, but I did not expect that movie to be the last one I would see in theaters this year, and for who knows how much longer. With that said, while it has been a very trying year, and I do have grievances, I do have my health and some security, and I know a lot of people weren't lucky enough to make it out of this year with that. So I am lucky in that regard, and I recognize that. But in the age of doom scrolling and feeling like there's a new disaster every other day, or one constant disaster that looms over everything you do, it starts to wear on you. Can you tell quarantine is getting to me? That was something I learned early on in all this though, that it was okay if you weren't okay, even if you didn't have it the worst, and that it was best to focus on what you could be doing when it feels like you can't do anything. So early on, as scared and depressed as I was, I decided to focus on something I could control and contribute to, and as usual, that was this silly little channel. There was a lot of ambitious content for Let's Talk About this year, to the point that I produced twice as many reviews as I did last year, with big videos covering entire seasons and series like Milo Murphy's Law, His Dark Materials, and my long-awaited review of a Lilo and Stitch thing with Lilo in it. I became a fairly established name in the DuckTales fandom this year thanks to my review of The Duck Knight Returns hitting over 10,000 views because it just happened to be suggested alongside a video from the next big thing who uploaded the same day. See? Sometimes the algorithm is your friend. But either way, it's been incredible to see people excited for DuckTales content from me as we've covered several more episodes last year, just in time for the show to announce that it's ending this year. Yeah, 2020 did not let up even to the end. Well, a show becoming irrelevant never stopped me from talking about it, otherwise I wouldn't have started Sherlock and the Curious Critic, my year-long retrospective on the BBC series Sherlock, which we concluded this month. While this was hardly my most successful series in terms of views, I am very proud of it, and it's been a blast to work on. This retrospective has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm glad I finally gathered up the courage to do it. The final problem review is also partly why this look back is so late, so sorry about that. I finally reviewed Detective Pikachu, did a full-on deep dive into Avengers Endgame, which is officially my longest review of a single movie ever, and let's try to keep it that way, the very requested Victor Frankenstein, and of course, the finale to one of the shows that's really forged my identity on the internet, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, which I got to make my own dedicated post to on Equestria Daily. That was incredible. A review where some very lovely bronies I know helped me send off the show with some very sweet words. That's the other thing about this year. Despite not being able to go out and interact with people, and major things like live events and conventions being shut down for who knows how long, there was still a strong sense of community for me this year. Everyone else was at home and lonely too, so there was always someone to talk to and relate with and have some fun with to forget the horrors for a little bit. Connecting with old friends and even making some new ones. A big chunk of that for me this year was in the Wait in the Wings drama bookshop on his Discord. By the way, if you want to hang out with me and several other people far more talented than me, including Mr. Wings, on a semi-regularly scheduled video chat, go support him on Patreon. Wings even gave me his old mic for Christmas. It's a something, I don't know. But it's what I'm recording this video with now, so let me know how it sounds. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm hoping to introduce it to Let's Talk About in the next DuckTales review. I figured this would be a good trial run to get feedback. It's definitely been a year where I've been able to reach out more, to be more open about how I'm feeling, and be a bit more ambitious with my content. Even being able to reach out to other content creators willing to lend a little help or boost my work. Including when I was featured in Anthony C's Procrastination Challenge. Yes, I did submit to be part of this, but it was still amazing to be highlighted and get a chuckle out of someone whose work I've admired for a really long time. He even retweeted it. If by some bizarre circumstance you're watching this, Anthony, thanks so much. It was one of the highlights of my year. What changes I couldn't make in my day-to-day life, I focused on making here. I changed my username, which was long overdue. Showed you guys my face. Celebrated doing this silly hobby for 5 years, and the milestone of hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is now quite a bit higher than that. I was hoping to hit that number by the end of this year, but to get there so quickly in the middle of all of the anxiety and confusion was so gratifying. So as I spend this time looking back on this year and the accomplishments that were had and connections that were made, I just wanted to thank you all who watch and support the channel for being a metaphorical life raft, even more so than usual this year. Really and truly, thanks for sticking with me through it all. So, one of the reasons this video is so late in the month is because I wanted to see if I could gather up an excuse to do another annual Q&A. And just last week I got my reason when we hit 1,300 subscribers. Just think about that for a minute. That's almost twice as many of you here as there were last year, and more of you guys subscribed this year than the first 3 years of this channel's existence. So I'm sure there's some fresh questions out there for you all to ask, and I kinda like making this an annual thing. So you probably know the drill. If you have a question you'd like to ask me for the video, place it in the comment section below this video. That way they'll all be in one place and I'll know which questions you guys have that are for the Q&A. You can ask more than one question, but not like 10, okay? Keep it reasonable. The deadline this time will be Friday, February 12th, so you have about 3 weeks to submit questions for this year's Q&A. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to ask, and I hope you look forward to what's in store for Let's Talk About in 2021. There's certainly a lot of big things going on in some familiar fandoms. We'll have the finale of DuckTales 2017 this year, Pokemon's 25th anniversary, and hopefully some great content for Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary. Side note, if there's anything Sonic or Pokemon you guys would like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to let me know and I'll definitely consider it. I have no idea what 2021 will have in store for the whole year, for the world, and especially for me personally. To be perfectly honest, I'm not expecting much. I'm going into this year with more uncertainty than I have in a long time, and as it turns out, stress and anxiety didn't melt away the moment the clock struck midnight on 2021. Who knew? But there are some glimmers of hope out there in my country and the world at large that things will get better. It's just gonna take some more time. If I can go to a movie safely by the end of this year, I'll be happy. But for you and for me, I'm going to keep going and hopefully give you guys some awesome content this year. Send in your questions, stay well, stay safe, and here's to the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.